Rally racing, a beloved sport among automobile enthusiasts for decades, challenges contestants with precise navigation. Each team receives detailed instructions aiming to arrive at an undisclosed checkpoint at exact times. Early or late arrivals result in point deductions, adding to the competitive edge of the sport. Today, we're shadowing Team Green as they prepare for another day in the rally.
Hard left on the mayor. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down to 40. Okay.
After receiving their detailed course instructions, the team synchronizes their stopwatch with the official clock.
Go to 35. Didn't give you much warning there. Okay, we're going to follow the curve warning sign.
Over the grueling 2,700 miles, champions emerge by mere minutes, showcasing their skill and endurance. One of the pinnacle events in rally racing is the Great Race, stretching from Owensboro, Kentucky to Gardiner, Maine.
Stay on course, stay on time. It'd be nice to have a little check at the end, but just here doing my dad for the 4th year, having a blast.
Really happy with the 240Z. It runs extremely well. Sam's doing a great job navigating. We had a really good rookie trophy run. We came in 4th out of about 25 cars. It was a great start for us.
Here we go!
Among the esteemed competitors are Howard and Doug Sharp, reigning champions in their Hudson Hill Climber, and Josh Hall and Trevor Stahl, victors in 2022, driving their Ford Roadster. In such a high-stakes environment, any misstep can open the door for others to claim victory, ensuring the competition remains intense and unpredictable.
Convertible. They are major sponsors of the race. Husband and wife team. We'll see how that holds up in the course. And sponsoring. So they're doing double duty this week. Our Cutlass S. Yeah, I didn't write it down that way. Beautifully restored car. It's your time, boys. Have a great day.
As much as we enjoyed our time in the opening city of Owensboro, it was time to hit the road. So we shot out of town and started the competition after grabbing a quick lunch on the way to the official start location. The rally officially kicks off just down the road at the designated start point, where competitors are allotted time to fine-tune their speedometers and calibrate their timing before setting off on the day's challenging route. For many drivers, participating in this legendary race is a bucket list achievement. Some newcomers find themselves hooked after their first attempt, drawn to the thrill of mastering the art of precision driving in vintage cars. The euphoria of nailing a perfect run is unparalleled for these drivers. Yet the competition is fierce, with the world's best rally drivers vying for the title and bragging rights. A challenging route made for a grueling day one, but everyone breathed a sigh of relief as we rolled into the beautiful town of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Congratulations to Team Coker Tire, the husband and wife team of Gary and Jean Ann Martin. Their Coker Blue 32 performed flawlessly.
Appropriate that the winning team today is not only from the state of Kentucky, they're also sponsored by Coker Tire in their 1932 Ford. They had a score today of less than 4 seconds. They had 4 ones and an ace for a total of 4 that it factored down to a 3.24.
What we called it a driver's day. Had to hold speeds, had a lot of hills he had to hold speeds on, a lot of speed changes. I didn't do anything. Gary did it all, really. Well, I told him what to do, so maybe I did do something. But it was very challenging, much more so than I thought it would be. A lot of hills, but we would really like to win all the days, or at least more than just the first day. But yeah, it's good to get started winning the first day. It helps you out a lot.
The field was tight, with the rest of the top 5 finishers being made up of previous grand champion winners with a difference of only about 2 seconds. What a day! It was a long trek from our start hotel to the actual starting point of the day's timed course, and we had to fight a little traffic along the way. Once racers were on the clock, a stopped train threw dozens of racers for a loop with a 30-plus minute delay. But the veterans knew how to handle such an issue. Once we got past that, we enjoyed the rural backroads of Ohio. As we made our way to Lancaster, Ohio for lunch, we were blown away with the turnout in downtown Lancaster. Thousands of people flooded the street to give our racers a warm welcome.
Cars that you would see, a 72 Chevy C20, that is a legitimate option from the factory, dually on that truck.
Well, we got to a corner and in front of us we saw 39 other cars. So we stopped and we hung out for a little bit with everybody while we waited for the train that wasn't moving to start moving.
Racers grabbed a quick lunch and some frozen custard and got back on the road. We saw lots of twists and turns and blind hills on the afternoon route, and plenty of tricky maneuvers to keep racers on their toes. The evening stops are nothing short of spectacular. As competitors cross the finish line, they arrive at approximately 1-minute intervals, treating spectators to a procession of remarkable cars completing the day's rally. It's a truly hands-on experience that bridges generations and sparks nostalgic conversation about first cars and cherished family vehicles. The host cities chosen for these stops are more than mere waypoints. In essence, these dinner stops are not just about concluding the day's race. They're vibrant gatherings where passion for automobile heritage meets community spirit.
We're here in soggy Marietta, Ohio at the end of Stage 2 on the 2024 Hemmings Motor News Great Race presented by Coker Tire. We started the day in Lawrenceburg, Indiana and made our way pretty quickly into Ohio. We had some incidents with trains holding up a lot of people, but the team that won today handled the train the best. They aced the leg with the train, and they won the day with a score of 7 seconds in their 1964 Studebaker Daytona. It's Steve and Janet and Allie Headkey. Congratulations.
Gosh, thank you, Jeff.
Steve Jackson also has a $250 gift certificate from Coker Tire, and you'll also get another $250 for winning your divisions for a total of $500.
Thank you. It's very generous. Appreciate it. Tomorrow will probably be a crap day because that's the way the race works. Up one day, penthouse to outhouse. But for right now, we got the plaque. We take that home. We can point to that and say, gosh darn it, we at least had one good day. And any day that you could run Great Race, any day you can finish the Great Race is a good day.
We're marking states off the list quickly on our first 3 days of rallying. Today, we left the host hotel and immediately crossed into West Virginia for a long day of rolling into twists and turns. The morning route was a test of both driver and navigator, as the instruction booklets had page after page of precise instructions. In fact, on a stretch of State Route 23, there were more than 5 consecutive pages of speed change instructions. From there, it was a short blast on the highway to reach our lunch stop in Morgantown, West Virginia, where we were greeted by thousands of spectators. Car enthusiasts of all ages came out to enjoy the great race as it spent a few hours in town.
Dan and Pat Martin, mind put your hands together this week. We celebrate 15 years cancer-free for Miss Pat over here handling the navigation.
Today was a challenging day. We were on back roads, up and down and around, multiple speed changes. But boy, that was pretty country out there. We really enjoyed the drive. It was just a little hard on the car this morning.
It was good. We went through a parking lot business because we almost missed a turn, but then we got back on. So I think
The afternoon route was full of scenic views as we crested many hills along the way. Late in the afternoon, we saw a classic John Clausen loop, where the racers would pass through the same set of turns multiple times. These can be confusing for the racers, but it's all part of the challenge. Finally, it was time to drive to the evening stop in Frostburg, Maryland. Once again, we were greeted by a huge crowd of local car enthusiasts. The setting in downtown Frostburg was absolutely beautiful, and we enjoyed some great comfort food after a long day on the route.
Well, it was a beautiful day in every respect. The countryside was gorgeous, and I'll tell you, we saw a lot of deer too. Some of them crossing the road, but we had a good time coming cross country. The old pack of Caribbean, only 400 of these made. We did a great job, good time all the way around, and it was a fun day.
We're here in beautiful downtown Frostburg, Maryland at the end of Stage 3 of the 2024 Hemmings Motor News Great Race presented by Coker Tire. And for the third day in a row, we have a different winner. Today's winners are Olivia and Jenna Gentry in their 1932 Ford. Congratulations.
Thank you.
They're no strangers to this. In fact, they told me they used their gift certificates last year for a set of new Coker tires. And now you're getting $250 gift certificate for being your division champions, and you get another $250 for being the overall winners, for a total of $500 from Coker Tire.
We went through West Virginia, so as you can imagine, lots of different elevations and a good bit of speed changes, just mostly I would say speed changes and just an eventful day. So my navigator kept me on track and kept me going the right speed, and it worked out.
Another day of great racing is in the books. We started the day in a sunny and cool Maryland and took a nice drive on US 40 Scenic, eventually making our way back into West Virginia after crossing the Potomac River via the Old Town Toll Bridge. This is one of the few remaining privately owned toll bridges in the United States, and it's been in use since 1937. The wooden bridge sits low over the river and offered a great opportunity for the racers to experience the historic bridge while off the clock. After that, it was another run on the clock and a transit into Purcellville, Virginia for lunch. We had a special venue for lunch as great racer Ken Walsh welcomed us to his family farm for what we thought would be an intimate setting. And as it turns out, Ken invited a few thousand friends to join us, and it was packed from end to end. We enjoyed a wonderful meal and a quick trip through the Walsh car collection, which included dozens of 409 powered Chevrolets and some amazing drag cars. We made a lap through the Gettysburg National Military Park and eventually made it into our finish line at Gateway, Gettysburg.
I mean, this is a first-class operation, first of all. I mean, everything has been awesome. People have been awesome. The driving is different. It's not exactly what I expected. It's actually a lot more spirited than I thought. I thought it might be a little boring after the first class going to Rally Club. I'm like, oh, maintain the same speed doesn't sound, but you're maintaining the same speed, but you're going, you know, full speed to get to that speed in a lot of cases, and you're cornering, you know.
Got a little alternator problem, but we'll get it fixed. It'll be on the road tomorrow. But, you know, this morning was all aces, so that's a heck of a day to throw those away. But here we are. It's why they don't pass out trophies till the end.
The excellence that we have shown the world of rallying today. A lot of people will make the mistake of following the book and being on time places. We decided to not follow the book at all and I think we're running today's, we're so early, I think we're running tomorrow's route. So it's going super, really super. And then we're just gonna drive on a trail of tears back to the hotel, I think. There's just nothing else to be done.
Yeah, we had a really good drive today through Maryland and up into PA. We had really not a ton of issues like we had the past few days with the hills. It was nice and level, and we could... Except for the transits. The transits were a little rough. We were playing catch up there, but generally a pretty smooth day. Some very scenic drives and good vibes all around. It was a really fun day. Tricky on the highway, like during the transit sections, 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. There were some long, steady hills. We're only going 30 miles an hour, and so you had to watch that rear view mirror and chug your way up the hill, and then trying to make up that time on the way down.
Redone the ignition, we've redone the tri-power linkage, redone the ignition a second time, and now redone it a third time. So we took the Pertronix electronic out, tied a quarter to it, threw it, hope somebody takes it, and then put the factory points back in it. Now we're running.
When a whole bunch of trucks full of cars show up and they start handing you keys, it's kind of my grown-up version of Christmas. Really cool car.
This rally race on this bike, the best way I would explain it is you take a big map of the United States and you lay it out and you see all your states, a big map, and then you get a straw and you look through the straw, and that's what it's like doing it on this bike. I'm seeing just a little bit. I'm in this, my instructions here, my stopwatch, my speedo, and I'm right here and up. I don't get to see much. Every once in a while I'll see something like, oh, Legoland, that's fun. No, and I gotta get back into it. The instructions tell you when and where to be and where to turn. If something goes wrong, I have to do a little bit of wing it to get back on. I can't do the precise calculations that the navigator could do in a car. So, number one is riding safe. Number two is don't get lost. And then number three is staying on time. So I manage to ride safe, to not get lost, and then my time has its ups and downs.
And for the fourth consecutive day, we've had a different winner. Today's winners are Doug and Howard Sharp in their 1916 Hudson.
I woke up this morning, I said, I'm taking out this red because I'm feeling a little bit blue. So I put the blue shirt on for the win. Worked pretty good. I'm just like, all this is qualification is what's going on. I mean, we're all qualifying to have the last 3 days where the rubber meets the road, and that's where you need to be. You can't have a totaled car, you can't have a broken car, you can't have decided to go home because you didn't have a good score. You got to qualify, and then the last 3 days are what you're really running for the money. And we try to do that every year, and then the last 3 days are very important to us. And we try not to do this too soon, but it happened today. But normally we focus on that like 4 days left to go and try to hold it true to the end. So that's how we think.
Today we crossed over the halfway point on the 2024 Hemmings Motor News Great Race, presented by Coker Tire. Day 5 started where we left off in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and headed north to Lewisburg for lunch. The hilly terrain made for a challenging day on the course, and the hills continued into the afternoon as we headed toward Binghamton, New York.
It's our first time not coming into lunch with a time delay, so we're really excited about that. We did have a dry rotted fuel line that we had to emergency replace about 10 minutes before we had to start this morning, but Jack got it replaced, so yeah, we're feeling pretty good.
So far halfway through, and we haven't broke down, or we're both still smiling, so that's a good thing.
The love of these great vehicles that are, 150 to 100 years old, and the love that we all have of these vehicles. I mean, it's just incredible.
Challenging. Lots of ups and downs, lots of turns, lots of speed changes, and lots of trying to keep a constant speed when you're going like this and this and this and that.
There's a little air-cooled piece of magic here. 1973 Volkswagen thing. Dave and Barbara Doyle.
Car 55, a 1972 Citroen 2CV.
At the end of the day, it was Team 66 of Jody Knowles and Beth Gentry taking home top honors for the day with an incredible score of 4.86 seconds, giving us 5 different winners over the 5 days of rallying so far. With that score, it ties Jody and Beth with the Gentry sisters with a cumulative score of 28.35 seconds after 5 days.
We started off this morning, it was lovely, and left Gettysburg, and we had a really good day, and everything went pretty smooth, and we only got in a little rain there at the end, and but evidently it's what we needed. That was our best leg of the day, the very last one, so just glad to finally get get one knocked out here and see if we can't do it again tomorrow.
Day 6 of the Hemmings Motor News Great Race presented by Coker Tire was an interesting day, to say the least. We started our day in Binghamton, New York, and made an eastward trek on our morning route. We saw more hills and twists and turns early on, passing through small towns along the way. Racers were faced with many obstacles today, including mowing crews, tree trimming, construction, and local traffic. This made for a challenging morning route, but we breathed a sigh of relief as we rolled into beautiful Montgomery, New York for our lunch stop. An awesome turnout of spectators came out to welcome the racers to town as they grabbed a quick lunch and got back on the road.
As always, there's always something that comes up that you don't expect, and then you have to deal with it and figure out how it goes.
Oh, today is actually much easier and much nicer than yesterday. It's very scenic and I'm going to say much more relaxed.
It's been very rough. We've had a variety of little things. We think we're still back and everything's good on our minute, and if everything goes well, we're going to make it to the end.
Here, get your flyer.
Owensboro today with a tank top on. I'm like, I don't think this young man feels very fine. Yeah, it's okay.
After all the cars made it through the gate, the scores were tallied, and for the first time this year, we had a tie for the daily score. It was a tie between Howard and Doug Sharp's 1916 Hudson and Brad Phillips and Dan Stahl in the Stahl's 1916 Hudson Speedster. The Great Race tiebreaker system determined Howard and Doug Sharp as Stage 6 winners. The tiebreaker system goes back to the trophy run to determine the winner.
I don't even know what we saw. We saw New Jersey today. We saw the Delaware River.
The Atlantic Ocean.
We saw the Atlantic Ocean on the way in here. Long day. I mean, started early. One of the longest days traveling. Handful of transits today, but also a lot of rallying, a lot of high speeds, a lot of good turns, and always add in a little bit of traffic. So you do it all, we get it all in the end. The competition is super tight this year. We're super excited to be a part of that competition and be in that mix. And we're just going to keep working it. We got 3 more days, and we'll see where it ends when we finish up in Maine.
The air was crisp and cool, and the skies were a special kind of blue, making for a beautiful day of rallying. The course was another challenging one, with many quick turns and lots of local traffic on the roads to provide an additional challenge. We crossed into Loudon, New Hampshire for lunch at the New England Racing Museum.
The car's not ours. We had to borrow it, so we covered up the names of the people that usually drive it. And he's smart. I'm smart.
My sister did it, so and that's her husband, so he's smarter.
Today we are feeling pretty confident. Hopefully that's not a jinx. But yeah, today was good other than the transit traffic. But you know, it's nice to be in our home turf, being from Maine and actually from Massachusetts. So all this is somewhat familiar.
We had a very quick restart after lunch and hit the course hard with many more quick turns as we crossed into Maine and eventually made our way to the evening stop in Freeport, Maine. Thousands of people filled the street as we parked the Great Race cars along all the great shops, including the giant LL Bean facility.
Another corporate sponsor here, Southern Distilling Company, and an absolutely drop-dead gorgeous Pontiac from 1967. This is a Bonneville convertible. There's something special about doing what these cats are doing. Yeah. 1916, Hudson, Pikes Peak hill climber, father and son from Fairport, New York. Your old dad is Howard Sharp, his son Doug, one of the best navigators.
I got a 24. The car in front of me had some issues, and it messed me up. I'm not good enough to make it up, so it affected me. But then I went around them, and everything looked better. I got a 5, 4, and a 6. That's pretty good for me. Bike's running great, no issues. We went to the museum today in Loudon, surprised by my father-in-law. So it was a good day. Yeah, it was brutal. That was tough. It gets tough on us too because we're doing 50 miles an hour on a highway where cars are doing 70, 75, and they don't always notice us. So it gets a little sketchy. Always fun. Always fun. Safety first. Fun sex.
The scoring staff had a tough time with the final tally on Stage 7, but it was the team of Jody Knowles and Beth Gentry taking top honors with a score of 5.67 seconds for the day. The championship run began today with Stage 8 of the 2024 Hemmings Motor News Great Race presented by Coker Tire. The championship run is important because it means no scoring legs can be thrown out. It also means that there are often more checkpoints than usual. Today there were a total of 8 checkpoints, and the route was a tough one all day long. Started in Augusta, Maine, and zigzagged our way to a wonderful lunch stop at the Seal Cove Auto Museum.
It's going great. So far, we're cool, we're cold, a little chilly, but it's a beautiful area.
Most challenging part is making it up the hills. This thing is pretty slow on the hills, so a little more horsepower wouldn't hurt.
We've met people from Australia, Canada, Great Britain. It's been fantastic seeing car enthusiasts from around the world competing in the same competition. So that's been a great great experience meeting people.
After lunch, it was back on the course, which sent us into the Acadia National Park for a quick loop. The afternoon route retraced some of our steps from the morning course, but ultimately led us to the Owl's Head Transportation Museum. The museum is packed with amazing artifacts, including airplanes, commercial trucks, beautiful cars, and more. At the end of the day, the cool temperatures, brisk breeze, and misty rain put a damper on the celebration, but we still saw a great crowd on hand.
So I can get either engaged to be married pending the results tomorrow afternoon. Miss Mallory has been rallying for a long time. She came up in X51 Packard Ultramatic, very rare car. Tom Gray, Vince Mattingly from Louisville, Kentucky. This, the Coker Classic Star Series sponsored car. Of all the orphan cars, I think the Hudson hurts my heart the most because they had it right.
Yeah! You all have got it, don't you? No! 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 Really? Woo! We got 4! Well, we got 2, but we got 4 stickers. Here, you want a picture? Hold on. You go, girl.
72 Datsun 240C BRE tribute car. Look at that beautiful Z car. His navigator Doug Harris out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Experience them. That's what the AACDA chapter in Murfreesboro, Tennessee did.
In 1923, Henderson Deluxe motorcycle, Loring Hill from Waddington, New York. My hero riding this killer motorcycle. That's his business. Fourth Coast Fours, working on bikes. And I tell you right now, if you're into old motorcycles, get him to put his hands on it because this bike has been doing the thing all week. Congratulations, Loring.
2018 brand champions from Buffalo, New York to Halifax, Nova Scotia. Go ahead, Jason.
That's the way the good Lord intended it to sound. That Henry Ford V8, flathead V8 making the noises we love to hear.
Congratulations to Eric Frankenberger and Aaron Reed for an outstanding score, which moved them up to 5th place overall and 1st place in the expert division by only 0.09 of a second. Howard and Doug Sharp have the overall lead by a 2.43 second margin over Jody Knowles and Beth Gentry going into the final day of competition. It's going to be a tight race.
Had a great run today. Everything came together. We had a couple areas we ran into with some problems. Aaron did a fantastic job of getting us back on time or taking our time delays as we needed to. It was a fun day. It's been a great week. It's been challenging. There's a lot of traffic out here, and it's been a lot of fun though. So it's been a lot of great competitors out here, and it's great to have a win today. Got one just for me.
Stage 9 was filled with quick turns and a classic John Klassen maze that sent racers zooming all over the back roads in different directions. noon, most of the rallying was over for the day, and racers grabbed lunch and stopped for a quick visit to a private car collection before rolling into the finish line.
Michigan that we had a cool spring rally event there just a few months ago. Now, sharing these pictures and images and stories is what we're doing.
Hold on a second. At some point, that is a huge accomplishment.
Ever produced in the first place, certainly not many in that nick.
The streets came alive with a vibrant display of automotive history as drivers eagerly engaged with the crowd. Attendees have the unique opportunity to interact closely with the cars, touching their exteriors and even letting children climb inside while drivers enthusiastically answer questions about the
best
prize
experience you can have. It tests your every ability to be able to pay attention. So if you guys love racing, you love cars, you're a gearhead, you got to test yourself and do this race because it's not a high-speed race, it's not like a drag race, it's not a road course race. That's actually easy compared to this race. This tests your every ability to be able to pay attention, follow instructions, and drive the cars. Very cool race.
You know, John put on a killer last day as far as throwing all kinds of neat corners and speed changes and stuff like that. Doubling people over on the same course and getting a little confused for some people. You know, we just keep the route book going right. Eric did a great job of navigating the day, and we just ended up on the top of the heap.
Your 2024 Hemmings Great Race presented by Coker Tire Company. X-Cup Division winners are from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Congratulations. Cars officially named Bonnie. She has been driven hard all week. This person is going to be fine. She did what she had to do. In a 1970 Dodge Challenger, Team 54, Dave Wallace and Liz Wallace out of Round Hill, Virginia. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Indy Pace Car, Bill and Sheridan Fry from Greenbrier, Arkansas. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your rookie team winning this year. 1970 Dodge Challenger. Outstanding performance your first time in this car for 3 decades before coming out to Great Racing. Congratulations. Right here with them lined up in a 1932 Ford 5-window coupe, Christine and Peter LaMountain out of Oxford. The LaMountains. Simpsonville, Kentucky, Gary and Jean Martin in a 1932 Ford 5-window coupe. Sitting beside them at the finish line, Neil Catfish Honest call for Wiki-Wachi, Florida, his daughter, Joanna. Your winners of the Expert Division 2024 Great Race. Neil Catfish, let's seconds off of a perfect rally. Can you believe that? Absolutely outstanding work here. Father and daughter team competing in the Grand Championship Division. Team number 1, returning Grand Champions from 2023, Howard Sharp, his son Doug Sharp. And Team 66, no strangers to this division, Jody Knowles and Gentry. Jody's from Tyrone, Georgia. Beth Gentry navigating from Noonan, Georgia, 1932 Ford Cabriolet. Great excitement that I announced for the 5th time this year.
So a completely different course this entire year that we haven't seen. Man, it's been years since we've had such a tight turn and stop sign race versus a straight ahead hold speed for an extended period of time. This year, I don't think we went 50 for more than 20 miles. Last year, we went across the whole state of Kansas at 50 for an entire day. So it really depends on the road conditions and what John Klassen finds for us. So yeah, East Coast was much more favorable to us this year, but the mission just to stay focused, stay true, and it worked.
The Hudson's quite popular. It catches the audience, it catches the camera, it catches the crowd, it catches the competitors, not all of them, but it catches the rookies. They look at us and go, how do you do that? I mean, and it's like if I was my first race, I'd go, wow, these guys to me are like, wow. That's who I was with Dick Burdick back in 91 and 92. It's like, wow, you are the guy, you know? And so we just kind of take the car and we show it out there, and we enjoy being around it. People come up to it, and everybody just gravitates to the car for, I don't know what the reason is other than maybe looks, appearance. They don't know what we're doing race-wise and scoring-wise, but everybody asks about the number one. Why are you number one? So I explained that to them, and because we won the race last year. Oh, you won the race? Can I get your autograph? So it's pretty darn cool to drive that car, and it is an impressive car, and it does catch the crowd, and everybody really does love it.
Sharing these pictures and images and stories is what we're